Bring it down some notches. That's better. Yeah, I like that one. That's pretty good, right? Okay, cool. We get the shadows going out the picture. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because what happens is y'all can't see me like I need to be seeing me. Okay, so here we go. Now we good. We got the light shining. Cool. Okay, so let me get that right there. hmm Cool. All right. Now we talking. Okay. Yeah. Now we talking. All right. Yeah. We in Be Live now. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Let's take the solo off. All right. Camera there. Guest there. Media there. Okay. All right. Make sure my settings is right. Okay. So I can hear you now. All right. Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. All right. Cool. Um. All right. Here we go. This is what I need. This is what I need to hear right here. This is how it's supposed to sound. This is how it's supposed to be right here. Okay. This is good. Yeah, this is good. Okay. Cool. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put this one over here. Slide that one over here, and slide this one over here. Okay. That's the problem right there. If you ask me, you know, we got too many chiefs, not enough Indians up in this one. All right. There we go. All right. Uh-huh. All right. This is better. Mm-hmm. I come back and put this right here. Now I'm talking to y'all like this. That makes more sense. Maybe not. There we go. Okay, so now we over here with it. Cool. All right, so we streaming though. This is about stream. This is what streaming looks like, y'all. And like I said, the final product is gonna go. All right. Let me stop the recording over here. Stop recording. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, there we go. So we got that going on. Um, let's see. Okay, so yeah. We gonna be live right now. Okay, cool. On this side, I'll put the. All right. Recording, stop. Okay, so I can hear that. All right, that's good. I put the other one over here, so I can hear over here. This is a trial by error. Listen. Let me tell you something. You can't. If you think you can't, you ain't gonna go through nothing. Like when you making these videos, if you think this is easy, this ain't easy. Okay, it ain't easy to make these videos. It ain't easy to make this content. Um, there we go. So now I got everything hooked up like it need to be. All right. We got 3 viewers going. We live. All right. Shout out to my boy D. I see you. Shout out to Belinda. I see you. Shout out to TJ. Yeah, I know what it is. All love. You know what I mean? We here. Yeah, we here now. Yeah. All right. Cool. Let's start this Bible study up now. I got everything where I need to be at now. So we good now. Yep. All right. Mute that one. All right. So that's over there. That's muted. All right. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, that one's not. All right, so we gotta put this one up. Screw it up. That looks like that. Turn that one like this. Okay, let's see. I want to put that over here. So I'm looking. Okay, there we go. Now we ready. Now we ready. All right, all right, all right. All right. So if you want to get on the, if you want to get on the stream, you know what I mean. To get on the stream, you gotta go to. I'm saying where you gonna go, because yeah. If you want to get on the stream, you go to Be Live, because Be Live is where it's at. You know. Hopefully you can hear me on Be Live, which is where I want you to hear me at. But if you don't hear me here, then you can go to my Zoom. The Zoom probably the most because that one is, So let's get it started. All right. I'm ready now. I got this thing ready to go. All right. Yeah, yeah. Yep. Okay, we're recording now. Let's get it. This is November. November, was it? November 29th, 2025. Okay. This is the 10th episode of Bible Study with KingCzol. I'm your host, KingCzol. All right. And we're going to read Bible, man. We're going to study and we're going to see what the Bible says. So the topic of the day, the subjects of the day, should I say, or topics, is going to be warrior mode. That's the theme today, warrior mode. Why is it called warrior mode? Simple. Because you got warriors. God had warriors. And it's things he told his warriors. You know what I'm saying? It ain't for everybody. Because being a warrior ain't nothing sweet. Being a warrior for God, specifically, means you're going to go through some stuff. You know what I mean? In life. Especially in this world, but even in the next world. Because it don't stop here. It's just the beginning. A lot of y'all think that after the spiritual warfare you're fighting on the earth, with the devil and the problems that happen here and family and friends and work and all that stuff, you think it stops here. No, this is just the beginning because it's a whole nother place. It's a whole nother place and it's a whole different situation. And a lot of people don't understand that situation because they ain't been there yet, so you don't know. You ain't see it yet. You don't know. But we're going to talk about the word most. So we're going to start with Exodus. Exodus 15, okay, verse 2 and 3. All right? Let me go ahead and put that in the Bible. We got the Bible, our digital Bible up here. You know what I mean? Okay. So Exodus. If y'all got a Bible, you can read along with me. 2, verse 2 and 3. All right. All right. So this is gonna be we're gonna give it. Let's get to it. There we go. Cool. Yeah, there we go. Exodus 2 and 3. There we go. All right. Had to make sure this thing getting what I need to get to. Okay, there we go. Okay. So that's chapter 2. Okay. Just up here putting it together. Hold on. What's the Exodus? Exodus 15. There we go. My bad, y'all. Exodus 15. Book of Exodus 15, verse 2 and 3. Okay. Nothing about the Bible. It's got a lot of books in it. I'll tell you that. A lot of books in the Bible. Okay. But don't be discouraged by that. There's a lot to read, but we here now. All right. So it says here, all right. Book of Exodus, chapter 15, verse 2 and 3. The Lord is my strength and song, and he hath became my salvation. He is my God, and I will exalt him. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. Stop right there. I think that's kind of self-explanatory, but you know what? I'd love to hear what you think about that. Okay? Facebook, YouTube, all these platforms. I'd like to hear what you think about that. Um, it said that God's a man of war. Yeah, it said God's a man of war, and the Lord is His name. Okay, so at the end of the day, God don't got no problem going to war with the devil or anybody. That's important to understand because see, a lot of y'all think it's just about turning up the cheek. Yeah, to your own brothers, because we're here to love each other. That's what our initial, thing was to love each other. You know what I mean? To love our brothers and sisters in this world. You know what I mean? That was the initial, that's the plan, right? But some people don't think like that, unfortunately, because we have the free will, right? To do what we want. We also have the knowledge of good and bad, which is why I told them not to bite that fruit. Well, Adam and Eve not to bite that fruit, and they did it anyway. Whether it was tricked or not, it don't even matter at this point because we're here. And because we're here in a situation we're in right now, um, again, we can't talk about the past. We can't worry about the past. The past does not dictate the future. Okay. And right now, as it sits right now, um, as it sits right now, the world's messed up. You know, the world's in the hand of the evil one right now. You know what I'm saying? He got a firm grip on a lot of things. He got a grip on the men, he got a grip on the women. It's gonna take warriors, disciplined warriors, to defeat the devil. Not a regular man or woman can just easily defeat his ass. Like, let's be real here. And that's why we need podcasts. That's why we need to talk about it. That's why we need to read the Bible and study. Because he's studying the Bible too. He knows it back and forth too. He knows how to do all the other little slick, sly, try to tempt you with all kinds of things. He knows how to do that too. So he's going to throw things at you. But if you're not strong enough to fight it, if you're not a warrior, you might fall for it. He tried to tempt me a couple times. But if you're not strong enough to fight the temptation and think clearly, it's easy to fall for the bull crap. Okay? And this is where warriors come because the warriors gotta stay focused. All right. So that's why I named this segment, this whole today is about warrior stuff. So this is all warrior stuff. So this is warrior mode. We can call this warrior mode. So now let me read that again to you. Exodus 15, verse 2 and 3. The Lord is my strength and song, and he has become my salvation. He is my God, and I will praise him. My father's okay, hold on. Let me say that again. The Lord is my strength and my song, and he's become my salvation. He is my God, and I will praise him. My father's God, and I will exalt him. Okay, when he says my father's God, he's talking about his ancestors, his fathers, and his father's God. Okay, and I will exalt him, meaning put him up high, above everything, at the highest point. Okay, to exalt somebody means to anoint. I will put them in front, put them on top. Okay, um, the Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. Okay. I might go a little further and read a little bit more. Let's keep going. Pharaoh's chariots and his army he has cast into the sea. His chosen captains also are drowned in the Red Sea. The depths have covered them. They sank to the bottom like a stone. Your right hand, O Lord, has become glorious in power. And in the greatness of your excellence, you have overthrown those who rose against you. You have sent forth your wrath. It consumed them like stubble. And with the blast of your nostrils, the waters were gathered together. The flood stood upright like a heap. The depths congealed in the heart of the sea. The enemy said, I will pursue, I will overtake, I will divide the spoil. My desire shall be satisfied on them. I will draw my sword, my hand shall destroy them. You blew with your wind, the seas covered them. They sank like lead in the mighty waters. Who is like you, O Lord, among the gods? Who is like you, glorious in holiness, fearful in praises, doing wonders? You stretched out your right hand, the earth swallowed them. You in your mercy have led forth the people whom you have redeemed. You have guided them in your strength to your holy habitation. Okay? The people will hear and be afraid. Sorrow will take hold of the inhabitants of Philis- uh, Philistia. Then the chiefs of Edom will be dismayed. The mighty men of Moab, trembling, will take hold of them. All the inhabitants of Canaan will melt away. Fear and dread will fall on them. By the greatness of your arm, they will be as still as a stone. Till your people pass over, O Lord, till the people pass over, whom you have purchased. You will bring them in and plant them in the mountain of your inheritance, in the place, O Lord, which you have made for your own dwelling, the sanctuary, O Lord, which your hands have established. The Lord shall reign forever and ever. Come on, man. That's verse 2 through 18. Okay, Exodus 15. So, you know, God ain't playing with nobody, man. Okay? Yeah, he not playing with nobody out here. You know, a lot of people think it's a game, and it's not. You know, it's not a game. You know, he's doing what he do. Okay, when God, you know, when you pray to God, you say, God, you know, help me with the situation. Don't think he ain't listening. He listened to what you're saying. He heard you. Yeah, he heard you. He heard you loud and clear. And you know, because he heard you, yeah, because he heard you, he's gonna he's gonna take action. Don't think he ain't listening. Don't think he don't see what's going on. He's always ready. Okay? Because like you know, they say that saying, you know, you ain't gotta get ready if you stay ready. God stays ready. There been many times, many times, where I even been in situations, you know, some all right, some bad, you know, some more serious than others. And God protected me. So I must say, it really depends on you know, I want to say only just faith alone. Um, I mean, you got to believe, of course, but some people, even myself, um, at one point wasn't living how I should, and a lot of times, even when you lost your way, he still, you know, um, stays by your side and still guides you or still protects you. I have a lot of friends out here, man. A lot of friends that passed away, man. A lot of friends that got killed. You know, I grew up east side of Buffalo. Okay, so isn't that nice over there? And there's a lot of things that people don't even know. I don't talk about a lot of stuff on this Facebook or on YouTube or any other platform because it's personal. But that's going to change. You know what I mean? Because you need to get to know me. Yeah, you need to get to know me, and you need to get to know God as well. Period. Because um, I'm just a vessel. I'm just a vessel that what I'm saying. He's using to get the message out to y'all. A vessel that has been lost, has been broken, has been in situations, has done things. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. That hustled and did all that stuff. So yeah. Why pick me? I don't know, but I'm thankful. I'm grateful too, and this is why we doing this podcast. So that was Exodus 15 verses 2 to 18. Okay, warrior mode, because that's what we in. You know, that's the mode we in. We in warrior mode. Okay, let's get to the next one here. So the next topic we're going to discuss, all right, is if God loved me, why is life so hard? A lot of y'all say, you know, and I heard this before many times. People that's friends and acquaintances and everything else would say like, well, if God was real, and why are we going through what we going through? Like, if God really loved us, why is He putting us through all this stuff? Why my parents die? Why my girl leave me? You know, that's what people saying out here. No, real talk. It's people really like that. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna say they're weak because they're not weak at all. They're strong people. I feel like though a lot of people are confused. They think that their strength comes from them, but sometimes strength comes from within, and not only comes from within, but it comes from what you go through. If you ain't been through nothing, how you know you strong? If you never lost nobody that you loved, or if you never got in a fight at school, if you never lost all your money, or you know what I mean, or had a friend betray you, or all that stuff, you never been through nothing. Of course, you're gonna say that. Why me? Why this? Why that happened? You know, but you're not understanding what's happening is a test. What you're going through, He put you through to make you stronger for the other stuff that's coming. Y'all don't hear me though. No, y'all don't hear me though. Y'all think it's supposed to be easy because God's in your life. Nah, it's gonna be easy, the stronger you get with God. But at the beginning, the devil might test you. Look at Job. Look at Jonah. Look at Moses. Look at, you know, remember they ain't have a lot of chances to get things right. And unfortunately, this is why, we read about them so we know what not to do. When God called you to do something or go through something, embrace that, man. you know? Don't run away from it. No, don't run away from it. Embrace it because there's a reason why you're going through that problem. I've been a happy, I would say half full type of guy. I look at the glass half full. I don't look at it half empty. I don't say, dang, I'm losing all this water. I say, oh, I got half the juice left. I'm good. That's how I think, per se. You know? Um, but yeah, we're gonna go right to Hebrews 12:6. So Hebrews chapter 12, verse 6. Okay. All right. You hear me? Hebrews 12, verse 6. Okay. All right. Let's go. Who this? Prove. I want to join in with Big C's, man. Let's go. I approved you. You see me? Okay. Well, I think I added him in here, so he should be in here. Okay, there we go. Um. So yeah. So back to Hebrews 12, y'all. Okay. Hebrews 12, verse 6. All right. Let's see. There we go. You hear me? God,
Yeah,
you can hear me?
trying to connect my phone to my headphone.
I'm making sure you can hear me out there. Yeah. Okay. That's my boy Ty, man. He just checked in. You know what I mean? We here. Um, we talking about warrior modes, man. We talking about, warriors of the Bible, man. We talking about situations we're going through. Um, that's what we're talking about right now. So right now we're on Hebrews 12:6. All right. And it says here, Hebrews 12:6. All right, let's see. Therefore, we also, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which is easily ensnares us, which so easily ensnares us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and has sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. Okay. For consider him who endured such hostility from sinners against him, lest you become weary and discouraged in your souls. You have not yet resisted to bloodshed, striving against sin, and you have forgotten the exhortation which speaks to you as to his sons. My son, do not despise the chastising of the Lord, nor be discouraged when you are rebuked by him. For Whom the Lord loves, he chastises and scourges every son whom he receives. If you enduring chastising, God deals with you as with a son. For what son is there whom a father does not chastise? But if you are without chastising, of which all you have become partakers, then you are illegitimate and not sons. Furthermore, we have had human fathers who corrected us, and we paid them respect. Shall we not much more readily be in subjection to the Father of spirits and live? For they indeed, for a few days, few days, uh, chastened us as seemed best to them. But he, for our profit, that we may be partakers of his holiness. Now, no chastising seems to be joyful for the present, but painful. Nevertheless, afterward it yields the peaceable fruit of righteousness to those who have been trained by it. What does that mean to you, brother? Ty, do you hear me?
Yeah, my headphones is going in and out. I can't really hear you. I'm trying to
Okay.
fix it. Okay.
All right. Well, I was reading from Hebrews 12, um, from verse 1 through 11. Okay. And basically it's talking about, God chastising us like our father chastised us. For those that had, fathers in their life, or a male figure in their life, uncles or cousins or any older or even younger, right? I mean, not really saying it has to be age on it, but anybody that had wisdom and that told you, right from wrong, or told you what you need to be doing, with your life, and try to guide you on the right path. Um, God does the same thing. God chastises you too. You know, just like Jesus chastised people in that temple and ran them out with with a stick or a whip, got them up out of there because they was in there selling doves and everything, and gambling, and selling food and clothes and all that stuff, and probably other little items and stuff in the church, in the synagogue back in the day. You know, Jesus chastised them. It says so. You know, God would have did the same thing if he was on earth right now. I mean, not saying that, he's not, but what I'm saying is he gonna chastise you too when you're not doing the right thing. He gonna correct you too. Just like your father or your uncle or whoever in your family, or mother, whoever, did to you. Yeah. And it says right there. So I'll read that part again for you. I'm gonna start at 6 though. For whom the Lord chastises and scourges every son whom he receives. If you enduring chastising, God deals with you as with sons. For what son is there whom a father does not chastise? But if you are not, but if you are without chastising, of which all have become partakers, then you are illegitimate and not his sons. Furthermore, we have had human fathers who corrected us, and we paid them respect. Shall we not much more readily be in subjection to the Father of spirits and live? For they indeed, for a few days, chastising us as seemed best to them, but he for our profit, that we may be partakers of his holiness. Now No chastising seems to be joyful for the present, but painful. Nevertheless, afterward it yields a peaceable fruit of righteousness to those who have been trained by it. I think about even with this right here, this this passage, man. He says, "Spare the rod, spoil the child." A lot of people take that, literally to the point where they abuse it. Chastisement is not about abuse per se. It's about correction. You know, um, do I believe in chastising or would I chastise my children? Yes. Would I spank my children if they got lying? Yes. Of course I would. Um, this day and age, they don't want you to do that. They don't want you to say nothing to the kids. And they wonder why kids run around shooting people, raping people and doing all kinds of craziness because they ain't being chastised. The father ain't at home, the mother at work, the grandmother can't really do nothing for him. You know what I mean? She can't watch him 24/7. He go to school, they leave out of school, or she go to school, leave out of school. You know what I mean? They all be
True
going
that.
to they come back. So a lot of times the kids raise themselves, trying to figure out what's going on in the world, unfortunately. Um, and that's the problem. A lot of the kids these days are not being chastised by nobody. Nobody, back in the day, when things go on, man, I remember I tell you a story, man. It was me and my boy Beans, right? And we was walking down the street. We was kids, you know what I mean. But we was in the neighborhood. It was our street, you know what I mean. It was our our neighborhood street, and we pretty much was the mans over there. We basketball, street ball legends out there. You know what I mean. We was killing it. But we had haters and some new dudes that moved down the street. Come from a different area, different lifestyle, different situation, and we was all young. We all talking about. I'm talking about 12 years old. And they caught themselves trying to jump us, right? True story. They tried to jump us. So it was like 15 of them and two of us, right? Because the other boys wasn't there at that time. They was in the house or somewhere else or whatever. We was the only ones outside. Man, me and my man Beans got back to back, yo. Put the dukes up. You know what I'm saying? Back to back. And at the same time, it was the older OG cat, you know what I mean? I don't know if I should say his name or not, but you know what? Matter of fact, I'm gonna say his name. Yeah, I'm gonna say his name because he deserves because we about to get jumped. They was gonna try to jump us because they wasn't gonna fight 1-on-1. Oh no. Uh, his name was Quan. Yeah, call him Q or Quan. He probably like late 20s me at that time, maybe or something around there, and we like 12. And he's seen these 20 or 15 boys, how many boys it was outside and girls too, you know what I mean? Like kind of all surrounded us. We standing there back to back, ready to scrap it out with these cats. Win or lose, we gonna scrap it out. And my boy Beans can confirm the story if you ever come on this live. Um, and Quan see that, and he was like, man, what y'all think y'all doing? You know what I mean? Like, you tell me to take all y'all to try to fight these boys? They can't fight 1-on-1? You know what I'm saying? He's like, that's soft. We ain't doing that. He said, if you want to fight them, y'all fight 1-on-1. But y'all ain't about to jump nobody out here. You know what I mean? And he chastised them. He made him look stupid. Like you should be fighting anyway. What you fighting about? What y'all mad about anyway? What you want to jump a person for? What you want to fight him for? Y'all ain't got no reason to fight. You know what I mean? Y'all should be friends. But see, of course, they don't have a reason to fight us. They would just, felt like, hey, we don't like y'all. And that's what it was. It wasn't about nothing. It was kids. But you know how it is. Kids, we young. We don't know better. But at the end of the day, we didn't want no problems. We were trying to just, go outside and have a good time. But, when you have... Hold on a second, y'all. I'm going to get the door real quick. I mean, come on, we'll share something. We're bringing the house. I'm back. My bad, y'all. Had to get the door. You feel me? So,
Why you gotta have him do? Because he's not doing nothing.
hey. Bible study going on. All right, there we go. So, yeah. So that right there, was chastisement, um, on the level of you know protecting us from nonsense, and I'm thankful for that person, you know, for you know helping us out there. You know what I mean? Because we was just kids, and again, we was outnumbered like a mug, but that's what chastisement can do. Chastisement can save your life because you never know what can happen. When somebody comes and they chastise and tell you what you should be doing. You know, these days a lot of older generation doesn't really get involved now because a lot of times these kids ain't listening. They don't listen to their own parents. They don't listen to nobody, and therefore they would shoot or kill or stab a stranger with no problem because they never was taught to have any type of fear of God in them, or the things that would happen if they do that. A lot of them don't understand. They didn't go to church when they was kids, you know. So that's why I say chastising is important, and that's why God said chastising is important, you know, and why it's necessary. Um, so yeah, that's why it's necessary. Let's see. Now we're gonna go into the next one. Okay. Let's see here. The next one's gonna be James chapter 1, verse 2. James chapter 1, verse 2. All right. So it says here, my brethren, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the test of your faith produces patience. But let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing. If you lack any, if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives all liberally and without reproach, and it will be given to him. But let him act in faith with no doubting, for he who doubts is like a wave of the sea driven and tossed by the wind. For let not that man suppose that he will receive anything from the Lord. He is a double-minded man, unstable in all his ways. Okay. The main thing I want you to get from that was we did a little more than just the one verse. We did it from 2 to 8. So that's a James, First James or James first chapter, 2 through 8. Okay, my brethren, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. Okay, you can't rush in the battle, right? as a warrior of God, you gotta be patient because at the end of the day, patience is a virtue. Only fools rush in. You know, mistakes happen when you rush things. You might rush your judgment, and that's important that you stay patient. Because you're gonna go through trials and tribulations all the time. You know, you're gonna go through problems, adversities, but staying strong and keeping an open mind with it. What I mean, taking it all in. They say, like, not letting it consume you, being patient. You know, knowing that it's a test of your faith. I've been in a couple of situations recently too. Okay, I can get into all that, but it's definitely it does produce patience. Yeah. So yeah, that's important to understand. Count it all joy when you fall into various trials. Okay, be happy that what you're going through is a good thing. No matter what it is you're going through, just know it's a reason why you're going through it. And it's not per se always a bad thing you're going through it. Sometimes you go through things that you might say are, you might be like, why am I going through this? You know what I mean? Like, it's too hard to handle. Well, it's hard. It's hard to handle, but when you come out of it, how do you feel sometimes? When you're going to school, you know, to accomplish something, and it's hard. But when you graduate, how do you feel? You know what I'm saying? You get a new job. How do you feel? You got to put the work in. You got to get to the side. It's always light at the end of the tunnel, but you got to go through the tunnel to get to the light. Sometimes. So it's the joy in that. It's the joy in going through stuff because you got to know it's a grand plan at the end of it. So you're gonna go through things, and yeah, you're gonna get tested. You're gonna go through various trials, like it says here, but it's joy in the trials. You know, because it's a better. You might go through internship, and you're like, man, I need to get paid. But guess what? At the end of that internship, and you get that job, and you're getting paid $40 an hour or $60 an hour, whatever it might be. That was the joy part, the hard work you put in. Look at that in a positive manner. Don't look at it as the bad thing. See, that's the warrior mindset. You don't let things get you down. Don't let it get you down when you're going through stuff. Stay positive. Stay up. Stay mentally, up, because that's gonna carry you through it. When you get through the other side, you understand why you went through it in the first place. It all makes sense, and hopefully, it makes you happy at the end of the day. That what you went through was not all in vain.
Tomatoes?
All right, so that's James 1, first chapter, 2 through 8. Okay, let's see.
Check that salad.
Let's go to the next one here. Next verse we're gonna do for Bible study. All right, I call this one here: the battlefield is for warriors. We save, but we're not soft. Okay, let me say that again: the battlefield is for warriors. We save, but not soft. Now that's my little title I put on it, so y'all can remember that one. Okay, that's in Psalms 144. All right. Put in Psalms. Let's put in Psalms here. We're going. All right. Okay. Okay.
Come here.
So Psalms 144. Verse 1. All right. It says,
You gonna take the door down the backyard, you gonna walk her.
Blessed be the Lord, my rock, who trains my hands for war and my fingers for battle. My loving kindness and my fortress, my high tower and my deliverer, my shield, and the one in whom I take refuge. Who subdues my people under me. Lord, what is a man that you take knowledge of him? Someone over there. There you go. Or the Son of Man that you are mindful of him. Man is like a breath. His days are like a passing shadow. Okay? Bow down your heavens, O Lord, and come down. Touch the mountains, and they shall smoke. Flash forth lightning and scatter them. Shoot your arrows and destroy them. Stretch your hand from above. Rescue me and deliver me out of great waters, from the hand of foreigners, whose mouth speak lying words, and whose right hand is a right hand of falsehood. I will sing a new song to you, O God. On a harp of 10 strings, I will sing praises to you. The one who gives salvation to kings, who delivers David, his servant, from the deadly sword. You heard that. Let me say that part again. Okay. Blessed be the Lord my rock, who trains my hands for war. Okay? And my fingers for battle. My loving kindness and my fortress. My high tower and my deliverer. My shield and the one in whom I take refuge, who subdues my people under me. Lord, what is a man that you take knowledge of him, or the Son of Man, that you are mindful of him? Man like a breath. His days are like a passing shadow. Bow down your heavens, O Lord, and come down. Touch the mountains, and they shall smoke. Flash forth lightning, and they scatter them. Shoot out your arrows and destroy them. Stretch out your hand from above. Rescue me and deliver me out of great waters, from the hand of foreigners, whose mouth speak lying words, and whose right hand is a right hand of falsehood. I will sing a new song to you, O God. On a harp of 10 strings, I will sing praises to you. The one who gives salvation to kings, who delivers David his servant from the deadly sword. All right? Yeah. So I know what that means to y'all, man, but it's pretty much saying to me, you know, basically, he asking God to help him, help him, defeat these foreigners in battle. Okay? Because God can do all things. God can protect him and the soldiers and the army. He can make it easier to defeat anybody because That's how strong God is. So understand, understand that some battles you can fight, but if you want to guarantee win, call on God to get involved. He gonna show up like Debo and Friday. Everybody gonna get nervous because he ain't gonna play fair and he don't play to lose. You know what I'm saying? You know, they've been sneaking, cheating long enough. Guy ain't gonna play that much longer. He not. He's gonna get him up out of here. You know what I mean? On whatever playing field he gonna play on. It don't matter who got the rock first. No matter if you keep the ball off, receive it, or you turning it, or you kicking it. It don't matter. You know, it don't matter. So that's why I say, you know, you got to be mindful. The power of God, and you also have to, you know, understand that as a warrior, you know, just like he says here, you know, he trained my hand for war. He trained me. Hey, Darius, grab me. I got something on the seat in there in the car, like a little cord thing. It's like a black cord. Yeah. But yeah, so that is you know, it says my shield and the one I take refuge. Okay? God's your shield. You can take refuge under God. He can protect you. He will protect you if you're doing what you need to be doing. Staying faithful and doing what his will. And that's what the main thing I got from this right here, you know, passage right here, man. And I think that everybody needs to see this because it's important. You know, everybody needs to see this. Yeah, everybody. You know, we're gonna get a bonus round up in here. Let's get a bonus round. Let's get a bonus round because you know what? I like this right here. I feel a good vibe today. You know, I got time today. You know, I got time today. You know, usually I don't have time, but I got time today. Okay, it's cold outside. I ain't going nowhere. Saturday. You know. Um. Yeah. Um. Okay, I like this right here one. Let's go to Isaiah. Yeah, let's go to Isaiah. All right. We're gonna go to Isaiah 9. You know, no, not that one. It's sorry, it's in a package. You know what? It might be in my coat. Let me check this out. Give me a second, y'all. Yeah. There we go. All right. Yeah.
This the camera one?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. You staying right? You staying for a little bit?
Huh?
You staying for a little bit?
I'm taking the dog out right now.
Okay. All right. All right. So it says here, Isaiah 9, let's start at 18. For wickedness burns as the fire. It shall devour the briars and the thorns, and kindle in the thickets of the forest. They shall mount up like rising smoke through the wrath of the Lord of hosts. The land is burnt up, and the people shall be as fuel for the fire. No man shall spare his brother, and he shall snatch on the right hand and be hungry. He shall devour on the left hand and not be satisfied. Every man shall eat the flesh of his own arm. Manasseh shall devour Ephraim, and Ephraim Manasseh. Together they shall be against Judah. For all this, his anchor is not turned away, but his hand is
I am
stretched
having
out
trouble
still.
creating your routine. Try setting it up in the Alexa app to see what's possible.
Okay, I don't know why that happened. Okay, but yeah. So for the wickedness, it says, burns as fire. It shall devour the briars and thorns, and kindle the thickets of the forest. Come on. They shall mount up and like rising smoke through the wrath of the Lord of hosts. The land is burnt up, and the people shall be as fuel for the fire. No man shall spare his brother, and he shall snatch on the right hand and be hungry, and shall devour on the left hand and not be satisfied. Every man shall eat of the flesh of his own arm. Manasseh shall devour Ephraim, and Ephraim Manasseh. Together they shall be against Judah. For all this, his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. So even, what you got to understand is, people, if you are doing wickedness, okay? If you're doing wickedness, God will turn your own brothers against you. Okay? You are as good as what you do. Your card as good as what you do. Okay? If you ain't doing right, you gonna do wrong, well, you ain't safe nowhere. You ain't safe nowhere. That's why God says, He will devour you up, man. If you ain't doing right, you doing wickedness. Come on. He ain't approving of that wickedness, man. And that's the problem, man. People think They can do wickedness, and then it's gonna be cool. Like, I'm gonna repent later. You might not have later. You might not have later. You might not have later. So I think you got time to play around and do wickedness and be out here doing all whatever you think is cool at the moment. Yeah, it sounds good right now, but it might come a time where he turns back on you and let the wolves get you. What you gonna do then? When the lions get you? Or whatever other, you know, animal that can devour you up. You know what I'm saying? So doing wickedness ain't the way, man. You know, you can lose everything being wicked. I've seen it happen to people. Many people have asked you to be. I've seen people get devoured up. People lost their minds. They lost their houses. House got burnt up. You know what I mean? Sometimes even family in the house. You're saying people that I know, they don't believe that he is real, or if they do believe it's real, they don't believe it because they don't want to believe it. Because they want to do what they want to do. They want to live wicked lives. Okay. Well, you can't get mad if God turns back on you and let things happen to you. The devil waiting. You see what happened to Job? And Job was doing a great thing. Job actually, you know what I mean, was actually good. He was good. He was a faithful servant of God. And the devil came in and said, I bet you I could turn him against you. I bet you. First of all, God, like, how you get in my house? Like, who let you in? He come in with two angels. Who let you in his house? Like, who let you in my door? Like, who? You know what I mean? He like, well, I just came here. I just want to see who you got around here that you praising. Huh? He said, I got my servant right here, Job. And the devil like, shoot. I bet you I could turn it against you. How much you want to bet? I bet you 300,000 souls or something. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to, ad lib a little bit on that part. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Basically, there's a bet. And that's where the warrior part comes in, because you got to be strong. A warrior is not just somebody that's in the battlefield. It's always a battlefield when you're dealing with the devil. You know what I mean? You always at war when you're dealing with the devil. With Satan, with Lucifer, Beelzebub, and all them other ones. Or all his minions. You're constantly at war. You don't even know it. Some of y'all don't even know that y'all at war. Y'all thinking it's between good and evil yourself. Like you the evil one and the good one. Yeah, you are too. But guess what? There is another force out here. It is real. Okay? There's another force out here that's evil. That's trying. Right now? Oh. All right. There's another force out here that's trying to basically, get you up out of here. And it will do anything in its power to get you to turn away from God. It can't wait till you say, ain't no God. Or I'm God myself and ain't no other God above me. And he waiting for that. Oh yeah, he gonna show you. Oh, you believe that? Cool. Devil gonna be like, yup, let me get this one. Yeah, let me show. And when he done with you, when he hits you with what he hits you with, because he don't like you. He hates your guts. He might give you a couple of things and try to lead you away first to get you, fully committed to, what I mean, being off of God, right? Get you fully committed, getting over that other side. And then that's when he gonna flip it on you. He can give you the cars, right? Or I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. Because, he did try to do something 1-2 for me. You know what I mean? But my purpose is different. I wasn't doing it for that purpose. But hey, when I was hustling, I was doing it to feed my family. I was doing it just to be fly out here. I was doing it because people, got sick and hey, man, I just wasn't going for it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I did wrong, but I wasn't doing it for the flash. You know what I mean? I was doing it for provision. It's a difference. But even so, that don't matter. We do provision or not. There's always another way to do it and a better way to do it. That's what you got brothers for. You can't call somebody your brother if they ain't gonna help you. Come up. You can't call somebody your friend if they never invest in you. They never work with you together to get something happening. You can't call somebody your brother, your friend that you robbed or set up or lied to, stole their money and stole their, business and, whatever it might be. You can't call that your brother, your friend. That's not your sister. She stole your man or slept with your father. You know what I mean? That's not your brother. He smashed your girl. That's not your brother. If he stole your whatever your clothes or your your rims of your car or some that's not your family. A lot of y'all be calling people your brothers and stuff that wouldn't even do the same thing for you. As soon as you get in some situation and some trouble, they gonna run. They'll call the police on you, get their reward money. They ain't gonna hide you out. Nah, it was C's that did it. Yeah, it was him. They do all that to get you locked up so you can take your girl. Come to her like, yo, man, I know you going through it and all that. You know what I mean? I got a little money for you. Here you go. Try to sleep with your girl behind your back while you in a fucking situation. You get sick. You know what I mean? You out of commission. That ain't your girl. That ain't your man's either. That's opportunists. A lot of people are friends with opportunists out here. And as a warrior, you got no difference. That's why I said God chastises. He tests people. Tests your faith. Tests your friends. Tests your family. Tests you to make sure you're strong enough. Because he don't want nobody weak. A weak person, you can't be on God's side, be weak. You know how much, you know what I mean? You know how much the devil preys on people every day? If you're weak, it'd be easy to get you to turn on God. Most of the people that turn on God is weak as hell. You're weak as fuck, yo. Being real. Y'all ain't got no type of strength, mental strength at all. You're weak. You're weak. I know you might think you're strong, but you're weak as hell. Sorry. Excuse my language, but you gotta get the truth from me. You're weak. A lot of y'all think y'all strong, but you're weak. Because strength don't just come from you only. It comes from above too. That's why God put you through things. He put you through trials and tribulations. He takes people away from you that you need in your life to make you stronger so you can work on it and get on your own. You know what I mean? I lost my mom. I lost my dad too. You think I ain't cried before? Of course I did. But I know that I didn't stay down. You know what I mean? When I moved to the A, 30 days later, my boy B got killed. He said, "Sis, I believe in you. You gonna make it in this rap stuff, man. We gonna be on the Jets and all that stuff, man." 30 days later, September 30th, I left on August 28th, pretty much. Went to Atlanta because I was getting up in mad trouble up here. Like I said, ain't nothing sweet. That he never made it. He had killed at his home over some that shouldn't have even been. But you know what? Females, you know, get brothers in a lot of trouble. And that's why I talk to y'all so much, ladies, because a lot of y'all have life and death in y'all tongues. Y'all don't even know it sometimes, how much power y'all got. And a lot of that power y'all use lately is for the wrong shit. And because of that, using it for the wrong stuff, you end up with a lot of brothers dying out here. A lot of people dying out here over y'all. Look at the dude that just got killed the other day, right? Or the one that killed the girl. And the other dude. That dude died over a female. He probably had really nothing to do with like that. Besides seeing her. That dude killed him and that girl. Over what? Hmm? Because he was in his feelings? That's crazy. So yeah, there's a lot of that going on in the world. There's a lot of that going on in the world. We're losing a lot of people out here. Okay? Yeah. And it's over nothing. Over something small. Man, a 20-second conversation can turn to a lifetime of being in prison, incarcerated, or somebody being underground, never gonna see their family again, dead, killed over a small anger situation. And this is why patience is a virtue. This is why you can't overreact, man, because warriors don't overreact like that. You know, one thing about a warrior, man, you gotta be able to think. You gotta be a thinker. You can't be no fool. You can't be no fool. And this is what I'm saying. You know, you gotta be, you need chastisement these days because without that, it's easy to be led astray. It's easy to get emotional. It's easy to make the wrong decision. And being a warrior of God is a whole different ball game. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't just fighting, you know, you're not supposed to be fighting, first of all, you're not supposed to be fighting your brothers and sisters anyway. Okay? We're supposed to be actually coming together, uniting together. Okay? Not fighting against each other. Not arguing with each other. Not trying to kill each other. Especially over something that's plentiful out here. Like, I never understood, and this is me personally talking, okay? I never understood men that kill other men over a woman. I never understood that. I never will understand that because I'm never going to do that. Not over a woman. Let me say that again. Relationship wise, I don't care if it's my wife, my girlfriend, or whatever you want to call it. If it ain't my daughter and he ain't do something egregious, like, you know what I'm saying, that's a different story. Now, they got things in the Bible about that, okay? You know, if you, you know what I'm saying, if you rape my daughter, I'm killing you. Yeah, I'm killing you. There ain't no question about that. Let me make that clear. But if my wife cheats on me, I'm not gonna kill my wife. I'm not gonna kill you either. You can have her. Because I can get another one of those. You know what I mean? I can get another wife. I don't think I'm an ugly dude, right? Ladies, yeah, I can get another wife. Oh, my friend did it. He cheated to my girl. I can get another friend. I don't need a person like that around me anyway, if he's doing something like that. So, yeah, you can have her. Y'all can go off and be good together. Hope work out for you. I would not be mad at all. Make that clear. I'm a real warrior. I would not be mad at all. Okay? At all. My motto is this. If you can take something from me, it belongs to you. Especially a female. If you can take her, she yours, brother. It was never mine. I'm so serious. Because this is the problem we having. A lot of men are getting killed or killing over females. Whether it's sisters or whoever it might be. You know what I mean? She get in an argument with her boyfriend. He hit her. He grabbing the strap and going shooting and now he's in jail for the rest of his life. When they've been fighting for years. How about tell your sister to leave his ass and not go back to him no more? Or over your girl, you know what I mean, that leave you and now she got with the next dude. And now you mad about it. Man, listen. Your job is to take care of them kids, bro. At that point. If she moved on, let her move on, man. She's never yours. A lot of brothers need chastisement for somebody like me. Because I was that friend. Oh, yeah, I'm that friend. You come to me about relationship advice, I'm going to tell you straight up what it is. You do some simple ass shit, I'm going to tell you. You know? I ain't going to say no names because, but I've heard some simple ass shit before for some people that I knew. You know what I mean? Dudes doing some stuff that, I would never do. Because for one, it takes too much energy and too much effort. I'm not following you home. Not doing it. If I gotta follow you home, I'm cutting you off. I don't care how good it is. You got the best box in the world. It can shoot sparks and fireworks out of that bad boy. It can, it can vibrate on its own. I don't care. I'm not impressed. So ain't gonna be none of that. Yeah, ain't gonna be none of that. Following somebody home and, tapping somebody's phone. I'm not doing none of that stuff. Please. Tell you that now. I'm not doing none of that. Because one, I ain't got to. Second of all, I just wouldn't do that. That's not my style at all. I'm sorry. If you want somebody to be emotional and cry over you on that stuff, you're going the wrong one. I'm a whole soldier, baby. My dad was a soldier too. My dad before that was a soldier as well. So, yeah, nah. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I'm not gonna fall like Adam did. That ain't gonna happen. See, that's why you read the books. That's why I read the Bible. So I know what not to do. You know what I mean? When God told Moses to knock on that rock once or wave the wand and so command water to come out of it, I'm not gonna knock on the rock twice. He told you once. I'm not going to knock on it twice. People don't listen. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be like Jonah. He said, yo, go to tell people over here in the city over here that they wicked and they need to stop doing wicked stuff. Otherwise, I'm going to come down there and do something to them. I'm going to tell him what he said. I'm going to tell him all what he said to say. I'm not going to try to get on a boat and jump on the sea, on the ocean, and get away and go to another city and not tell them what God told me to tell them. Because guess what's going to happen? Guess what's going to happen? I do that, and I'm gonna get swallowed by the sea almost. And I'm in a well, a big ass fish, which probably say is a whale, for 3 days and 3 nights. Get swallowed up. Have you been swallowed up? I'm not trying to be swallowed by a whale because I didn't do what God wanted me to do. Whale probably stunk like fish. I mean, I like fish, but I don't like it that much. Okay? I try to be in the belly of no big old whale or something like that. You know what I mean? Nah. So, this is why I say, Isaiah 9. We're going to bring it back to right here. 8. Isaiah 9, 8 through 16. Okay? The Lord sent a word against Jacob, and it has fallen on Israel. All the people will know. Ephraim and the inhabitant of Samaria, who said in pride and arrogance of heart, the bricks have fallen down, but we will rebuild with hemstones. The sycamores are cut down, but we will replace them with cedars. Therefore the Lord shall set up the adversaries of reason against him and spur his enemies on. The Syrians before and the Philistines behind. And they shall devour Israel with an open mouth. For all this, his anger is not turned away, but his hand is still stretched out, still. For the people did not turn to him who strikes them, nor do they seek the Lord of hosts. Therefore, the Lord will cut off head and tail from Israel, palm branch and bulrush in one day. The elder and honorable, he is the head. The prophet who teaches lies, he is the tail. For the leaders of this people cause them to err, and those who are led by them are destroyed. Yeah, God ain't playing with y'all. And you might be, a soldier. You might be strong. You might be, with all that. But the last thing you want to do is be on the opposite side of wrath of God. Because he'll make your enemies more powerful than you. Look what happened to Deuteronomy 28. Okay, it talks about us. Pretty much in that, I think, as far as slavery. And it's very clear in that what's going to happen and what happened pretty much. And we got to see it and hear about it because it wasn't that long ago. Don't be no fool to think it can happen again. You know, slavery is not a choice only. You know, it's also sometimes put on you as a curse. So anyway, you get around that, you have to go through it. And this is why I say, you know, don't let the next person throw you off to the point where you do the wrong thing and lead you the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, don't let nobody lead you astray because it's very easy to do. So, again, what is a warrior? Nobody's perfect, but a warrior has discipline, honor, respect. He's valiant. He's kind to the people. And on the battlefield, he is savage. But don't get it misconstrued. Being a warrior for God is a big responsibility, and you must research. You must study because the only way you can get better. You must practice what you preach. You gotta have discipline. Without that, you have nothing. And it can be easily conquered if you don't. So that concludes our Bible study for today, y'all. If there's any other passage y'all like to hear pertaining to you know, um, for the warriors, man, out here that's fighting, okay, and God and Christ's armies. If you fighting with God, and there's any passage you want to hear specifically, you can leave it below, and I can read it. We got time today, you know. If you got anything you want to, any passages, man, just you know, tell me what it is, man. Type it below. Yeah. So if y'all don't have anything to add to anything, that's fine. You don't have to, of course. Like I said, the fact you here, one or more people here, man. Um, God's in the midst. We have like people join live or attempt to, but have technical difficulties today because this is my first time with this setup now. So because of the setup, kind of made it a little difficult because I had to put extra equipment together to get this thing right. And now I got it all right. So now what's up? Now you're ready. I had to mute some stuff. I had to, tap in over here and get the, my, all that stuff right over here. And yeah, now we got everything right. So next week is gonna be even better. Yeah, next week is same time. If not, same time, it's gonna be earlier. It just depends where I'm at in the world. Right now I'm at home because of the, Turkey Day or whatever you want to call it. I'm not really, you know, celebrating anything, any holidays, whatever, Christmas and all that stuff. But, since I was like, I'm taking off work today because, hey, everybody taking off, so why not take off, Plus the Sabbath. So I'll take off on Sabbath every Sabbath, Friday night to Saturday night. I don't work, you know? Yeah, I don't work on Friday night to Saturday night. So that's why the podcast is going to be on Saturday nights from now until forever. Okay? As long as these computers work and this phone work and I'm alive and I can able to talk and I have my voice, and if I don't have my voice, I'm going to type it out. I'm going to be here every Saturday between 12 and 4 or later. Depends on what's going on. I'm going to be here. But one thing for sure you can count on, I'm going to be here. Don't ever get that confused. Every Saturday, I'm going to be here. Hopefully every Saturday you here too. Okay, because this is we getting this knowledge for free. We ain't charging nobody. I ain't selling T-shirts and all that stuff. Not on the Sabbath. Nope. This day I focus on God and God only, and family, and love. That's what I focus on today. Yeah. I focus on love, family, my friends, and everybody else that has been instrumental in my life. That's what I focus on today, because that's what God wants you to focus on. And you want to focus on Him as well, and with His Word, and getting stronger and more, and becoming a better person that you were from the day before. Every day we should be striving to get better. Every day. You ain't gotta be perfect, but you gotta try. Let me say that again. You ain't gotta be perfect, but you gotta try. You ain't trying, that's a different story than somebody is perfect. You know what I mean? Nobody perfect. Your pastor ain't perfect. Your mom, your dad ain't perfect. Your brother, sister ain't perfect. You ain't perfect. Your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your wife, they ain't perfect. Your kids ain't perfect. Nobody perfect. But are you trying to be righteous? Are you trying to do the right thing? Because God's inside of here in your heart. Okay? That's where God's at. He's just not in the sky all day, looking down only. You know what I mean? Or and every little thing around. No, He's in your heart. He's inside you already. If you allow Him in there. Some of y'all are not trying to allow Him in there for whatever reason. Because you're hurt. You're sad. You're mad. Urgh. Hey, man. I'm going to say is this. The blessings come when you do what's right. Irrefutably. Not just when everybody looking either. Because what you do when nobody else is looking around you matters the most. You know what I mean? Y'all might see me on here, but y'all don't know what happened the other day. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what's going to happen tomorrow. But you know what's happening right now. Y'all can see me right now, here. But y'all can see y'all or hear y'all or talk to y'all right now. But guess what? Y'all know what happened yesterday. I might have even told y'all, I lost a family member yesterday. A great aunt, 94 years old. Like a grandmother to me. I just found out about it. So life be lifing. And it's gonna keep on lifing. Ain't gonna stop lifing. I'm gonna lose other people, family, friends, and sisters and brothers. And we're probably gonna continue to lose people. But how strong are you at the end of the day? Yeah, you can cry about it. You can complain about it. What you gonna do about it? Because there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it at the end of the day. Because life is gonna happen whether you here or not. You got friends in jail, in prison. Guess what? Out here, you know, they're losing family members and friends, and like his life going on. Life goes on whether you here or not. So you gotta be strong. And that's what I'm saying. You gotta be strong. Because life gonna happen whether you here or not. You know? So yeah, just know that. Yeah, just know that. Well, it is like I said, it was good talking to y'all this week. I will see y'all next week, Saturday, which is let me see, when is next week Saturday? Next week Saturday. We're gonna be in December. Okay. Let's see. I'll tell you right now what next week Saturday gonna be. The 6th of December. That's the next time we have a Bible study. Okay, hope we're gonna do a little earlier today, like 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Now I got a computer that's more better, and more space on it. I can do more videos and things like that. So that's important. So yeah, so we definitely gonna be doing it. Definitely gonna be doing this on the 6th. Yeah, definitely gonna do this on the 6th. Okay, definitely. You heard? Definitely gonna do it on the 6th. All right. We'll see y'all then. Between 12 and 4. That's when it starts. Hopefully it's gonna be earlier this time because we had technical difficulties, but definitely gonna be in that time frame. So just be ready for that when it happens. And I will see you then. Okay, we're gonna sign out of here. Peace out.